I purchased a Himalayan cat with my mother today at a pet store. I'm very excited to have a new pet, and I hope you can enjoy this relaxing video of my new kitten. Pay no attention to the audio. In fact, feel free to mute it and play your own music in the background in another video. Anyway. This morning I finally remembered one of the last important memories I have. I don't think I can remember absolutely any more. While I was young and still living in Bulgaria, my father asked me how I would conquer the world out of his curiosity to see what a child would say. I told him that I wouldn't use absolutely any troops because I refused to kill anyone. He asked me what I would do. This conversation lasted during parts of a few days alongside other things. We spoke about other topics. In between, one of the things I asked him would be why I have never noticed him speak to another person besides me and my mother outside of our apartment while walking on the sidewalk. For some reason while me and my father, were walking outside later that day, he stopped a man near his age on the sidewalk and said, "Let's talk." The other person said, "Sure, about what?" There was a long pause and I was surprised because my father has won awards in Bulgaria for creating engineering projects for outstanding designs, by the Bulgarian government. I don't remember what his greatest award was, however I am almost certain he designed an entire subway. Anyway, I have no idea who the other man was, however he said, "Sorry, I have to go." Shortly after the few-minute pause between them, unable to find a topic to speak about, I observed the two of them and wondered to myself how long it's been in history since people had conversations outside of their apartment in public, usually to create progress. He explained to me in our apartment that he still has many productive conversations with co-workers at his career. Later on we spoke about coffee. I asked if a lot of people drink this, and then asked, do people drink this outside of their apartments? He replied that many people carry coffee cups outside. We got into a discussion about technology, and I thought of my creative approach. Many people can't find a common subject worldwide with their own population. Maybe it's because the majority of speaking topics people have in private are not accepted in public. Students don't have conversations in school, they just listen to their teacher. Concerts, viewing films in a group, same thing. So here is what I would have done at the time. I would split the Earth into invisible zones, using new technology made by mechanical engineers, while making sure that people worldwide are still able to cross these zones to reach work, school, and other required places, and simply limit the things that they are able to do. We had an extremely detailed conversation lasting several hours. At the end of it I asked my father what would a young man do in order to find a girlfriend, for example after seeing a beautiful young woman in a separate zone in order to spend time with her, if the technology were limiting them, but also provided options. He looked at me a bit shook and said I had created the greatest military tactic in the history of military tactics for overtaking entire countries. We continued speaking. I would limit the things people can do while passing through another invisible zone, regardless of their position in society. Everyone would continue functioning as usual while their ability to do creative things out of the ordinary is slowly limited more and more. People would still have the media, such as television and radio at the time to broadcast to a large audience. Past that, not as many things available to them. The whole thing would have something to do with coffee. For example, many people carry coffee with them, then another person sees a group of people carrying their coffee. For a start, technology which, after seeing a certain amount of people holding disposable coffee cups, makes the person buy a coffee. If someone gets lost in another zone through missing their bus stop or something and getting off at the next one, they could ask for directions nearby and be led by another person, another citizen, until they reach the invisible line, where they would say goodbye to the stranger that they made friends with, and somehow feel as if they are barely crossing a wide black chasm, which coincidentally is the color of a black coffee. I was a very creative youngling, and I had many different ideas, some less acceptable than others. However, I would go out of my way to make sure everyone lived extremely long lives. If they need to get dental or other care, I would make sure that they can safely reach the dentist or physician's office. The question past actually spending a life with a significant other continues towards smaller things. What would a person be willing to do to attend a concert, or go somewhere past a certain hour? The possibilities are endless.